started with a man named Charles Taze Russell, and he prophesied that Christ would return in 1874. Well, obviously that didn't happen. So then he changed it to 1914. And when that also didn't happen, the organization tried to say that Christ really did come invisibly in 1914 to help set up the Watchtower, Bible and Tract Society. So 1914 remains a very important year for them. Keep that year in mind because I'm going to come back to it. After Russell, a man named Joseph Rutherford took over. And he said that only 144,000 people were going to get into heaven. You may have heard that before. Well, in 1935, a problem happened when the membership went over 144,000. So, of course, he received a new revelation from God that said that everyone who was born before 1935 would go to heaven, and everyone after would live in a new paradise earth in eternity. He also said that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob would return to earth by 1929. Well, that didn't happen. He actually bought a house, a mansion for them in California to live in. And guess what? He lived in it himself when they didn't come. Ironic. And in 1942, when he died, Nathan H. Knorr took over, and he said that the end of the world would come in 1975. Well, again, that didn't happen. So in 1976 to 77, over 1 million people left the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, disillusioned by all of the false prophecies. And no wonder, because they had been led astray. They had been led astray. And the reason I want to bring up 1914 to you is because it's very, very interesting how the lengths they've gone to cover up their false prophecies. Okay? Because here I've got here in my hand a copy of the Awake magazine. So their Awake magazine is their outreach magazine, and the Watchtower one is used for the witnesses themselves. They usually give you one of each, though, when they come to your door. This is January 2008, so this is kind of an older one. But it has the modern mission statement in it. And the mission statement says this. It says, "This journal is published for the enlightenment of the entire family. It shows how to cope with today's problems. It reports the news, tells about people in many lands, and examines religion and science, but it does more. It probes beneath the surface and points to the real meaning behind current events, yet it always stays politically neutral and does not exalt one race above another. Most important, this magazine builds confidence in the Creator's promise of a peaceful and secure new world that is about to replace the present wicked, lawless system of things." Now you see this right here? The present wicked system, the lawless system of things. Okay, so that's what the modern one says. Okay, well, I had the privilege of running into a Hispanic Jehovah's Witness in a Hispanic area of a large city, and he didn't have many English copies of Awake. But when he found out I spoke English, he gave me the only one he had, which is this one from 1991. And in 1991, the mission statement ended with this: "Most important, this magazine builds confidence in the Creator's promise of a peaceful and secure new world before the generation that saw the events of 1914 passes away." You see that? See that right there? The events of 1914 passes away. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to remove focus from 1914 because they realize it was a false prophecy. Okay? What does the Bible say about false prophets? Well, in Deuteronomy 18:20 to 22, it says this: "But the prophet who presumes to speak a word in my name that I have not commanded him to speak, or who speaks in the name of other gods, that same prophet shall die. And if you say in your heart, how may we know the word that the Lord has not spoken? When a prophet speaks in the name of the Lord, if the word does not come to pass or come true, that is a word that the Lord has not spoken. The prophet has spoken it presumptuously. You need not be afraid of him." So guys, don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid of them. And woe to us if we do not preach the gospel.